Good morning, students. I hope you are all safe and secure. Take care of your health. Be safe. Wash your hands frequently. Have a nice day, students. Today, we are going to discuss about the continuation of Chapter 1, that is Introduction to Computer Part 2. Introduction to Computer Part 2. In last class, we are already discussed something about computer in part 1, that is Introduction to Computer, characteristics of computer, generations of computer, etc. in part 1. Today we are going to discuss about the important 5 mark that is named as components of computer. What is this? Components of computer. Before we move on to the today's topic, we just have a small recap session of the previous session. Are you ready? Yeah. This is the small recap of the previous session. What is this? This is a small recap of the previous session. What are things we are discussed in previous class? That means our last class, introduction to computer. First of all, what is mean by computer? It's a machine, isn't it? Yeah, it's a machine. It's working everywhere. It's working everywhere around us. Not only in here and there. It's present in all over the world. Each and every home or each and every working place need a computer. It's a must things nowadays. How we have a shelter and food in our day-to-day, it also a needed thing in our day-to-day life. Then it have lot of characteristics of the computer. That means the characteristics means application is otherwise known as characteristics. Application is otherwise known as characteristics. In characteristics, we refers the how it will be preferred. In applications, we are referred that as wherever we are using a computer. This is the difference between characteristics and application. In computer, what are the characteristics are there means why we are using the computer means it's very speed compared to human, as well as it's very accurate. It's a very accurate manner. It's stored lot and lot of things. It's stored lot and lot of things. Vigilance, versatility, then power of remembering. Compared to human, its IQ level is very great. Then applications of computer means where are the places we are used our computer, that is known as application. Weather forecasting, education, research, travel, tourism, education, business, engineering, robotics. In many places we are utilizing our computer. The next topics we are discussed in previous classes, generations of a computer. In this topic, this is a very important 5 mark. We are discussed 6 different types of generations. Our first generation is year 1940 to 56. Our main components used is vacuum tube, isn't it? It have both merits as well as demerits. In a second generation computer, the year, that is a period in between the second generation, is 8 years, isn't it? In first generation, the period is 16 years. In second generation, it's 8 years. 56 to 64. 56 to 64. Which components is used in second generation, students? A transistor. Yeah, transistor. In the second generation computer, we are used IBM, International Business Machine 1401, as well as IBM 1620, Univoc 1108. Then in third generation computer, the period calculation is the year calculation is also how we are calculating a second generation computer. Likewise, the third generation also the duration gap is 8 years. How many years? 8 years. 1964 to 71. Here we are using the components as a integrated circuit. It is very fast, smaller compared to other two generations. In this third generation, we are using IBM same series, that is 360 series. Also, the new one is introduced as Honeywell, isn't it? 6000 series. Which is series? 6000 series. IBM 360 series, Honeywell 6000 series. Next one is fourth generation computer. The duration between 71 to 80 is 9 years. First generation duration is 16, second generation is 8, third generation is 8, but fourth generation is little bit difference, that is 9. It's very easy to memorize. The component used in this microprocessor, that means in this fourth generation is microprocessor, that is otherwise known as VLSI. Expansion of VLSI what? Very large scale integrated circuit. Compared with third generation, it's a full-fledged computer. Here only we are using which type of computer? Portable type of computer were introduced. Both IBM as well as Apple computers are developed. Then in 5th generation computer, the year is calculated from 1918 up to till we are using the same computer. In this computer, the materials required is ULSI, that means ultra large scale integration, isn't it? In this 5th generation, we are introduced lot of things. That means a parallel processing, supercomputer. The size of the computer is drastically increased. Not only a computer or anything here, we are using high complex decision making, that is logical reasoning. Artificial intelligence is introduced. Lot of things are promoted in this 5th generation. At last, we are discussed about 6th generation, that is in future. You must draw the figure for the 6th generation. Apart from 5 generation, if you draw very good manner means you will draw, otherwise you skip that drawing for 5 generation, this 5 generation. But it is necessary to draw a drawing for 6th generation. In the 6th generation, it produced a complete computer. It's not only a computer, it's also a robotic, that means a virtual machine. It will recognize the voice recognition. It will use to hatch our computer. So these are all the topics we are discussed in generations of computer. At last, we are discussed about 6th generation computing. In the 6th generation computing, we are using a natural language processor, isn't it? So it's a component is artificial intelligence. At last, we are discussed about data and information in the previous session. Our data is a processed collection of raw fact. Example, 16 Kavita C or anything. Information is a collection of fact which in conclusions may be drawn. So Kavita is 16 years old. So in last class assignment, I asked one question, that means what is computer? You are all right. Many definitions. All definitions are correct, but you prefer maximum. You prefer your book definition only. Otherwise, I won't give a mark to you. So I need an answer from a book. That means from my video. I give one video, isn't it? You will prefer the answer from our video. Otherwise, you will refer the book. If you have any doubt in assignment session means you will better ask to me. Message me or call me and ask to me, confirm the answer for the question, then you will memorize the question and answer for the question, guys. So shall we move on to the today's topic? Yeah, you are all eagerly waiting for the today's topic, I think. I hope you are all understand the last class, isn't it? Yeah, today we are going to discuss about the new topic named as components of computer. What is this component of computer? Are you ready? Today's topic is components of a computer. What is this? Components of a computer. Components means otherwise known as parts or internal parts or anything, that is known as components. In a computer, it's a combination of hardware as well as a software. What is meant by hardware and what is meant by software? Did you have any idea about hardware and software? Yeah. A simple example I told you, if you touch and feel anything means that is known as hardware. If you just realize what is happening inside the computer means that is known as software. That means a set of programs or instruction that is given to the computer means that is a software. If we are physically touch and feel something means that is known as hardware. That means hardware is the physical component of the computer. Like a easy example is keyboard, mouse. A motherboard is a term you read, but it's not viewed by you, I think. If you suppose meet a future in our school means I will show you what is meant by motherboard. It's an important board. I think you are all open your phone and see a green color board inside the phone. Nowadays it's all a built-in things, but previous years ago we have a phone means we are opening and see. In that phone also motherboard is that. How we are refer CPU is the brain of the computer. Likewise, motherboard is the heart of the computer. So keyboard, mouse, monitor, printer, all those things are considered as a hardware. Then while a software, it's a set of programs or instruction set that is created by us. That means the users created and fed something to the computer means that is known as software. If both hardware and together making a computer system functioning. If there is no hardware, some hardware is not working means that is won't accept the software. If we have a time means I briefly explain this hardware and software at later onwards. It's a very big topic. Software is also divided, subdivided as two kinds, application software and system software. If it is move on means it goes on. But in our book that is not given as that much as brief. In later onwards, if we have a time means I will explain you what is meant by hardware and what is meant by software. Each and everything maybe I will explain. So this is the that means listen carefully. A keyboard, mouse, monitor, these are all the things are known as hardware. Okay. So what is meant by software means we will touch and feel this kind of things, isn't it? So that is known as hardware. Suppose we are making any program, a C program or a C++ program or Java program or Excel or word processing, something that may be executed inside the computer means that may be executed inside the computer. That is not, that is just feel by us, that is not touch and feel, that just we know what is happening inside the computer. So that is known as software. That is known as software. The combination of hardware as well as software making the computer function good. If something is shows an error means it won't be executed. Sometimes the keyboard is not properly connected with the computer means we didn't give any input to the computer, isn't it? In a lab some problems are there, the keyboard is functioning not properly means it won't be, if we won't be give a input to the computer, isn't it? Yeah. So this is the components of the computer. I show parts of the computer as well as what are the components of the computers are there. I will show you one by one. I will show you guys. This is the important 5 mark in your book. If a question is asked like explain the components of the computer means, that means explain the basic components of the computer means you must write things that may be started from the last slide, isn't it? That means the components of the computer, the heading from components of the computer till you will write up to memory unit. I will tell whether you will start and whether you will end from start from components of the computer. That means the last slide I forgot to show you. So in a last slides it started from a computer is a combination of hardware and software up to you will write up to a memory unit fully. It contains 4 to 5 paragraphs. So it's very easy. You must draw the diagrammatical representation that I will show you in this slide. I will show you in the slide. No need to draw a computer diagram. You just draw the components of the computer diagram. It's enough. And explain each and every part of the components of the computer. In this components we are going to discuss 4 components of the computer. How many? 4 components of the computer. Before we started the components of the computer, just we are discuss the functions of components of a computer. If every task that is given to the computer, that may be of IPO cycle. What is this IPO cycle? Input process output cycle. That is known as IPO cycle. It is already we are discussed already, I think introduction part 1 or part 2. I didn't remember that. IPO cycle, input process output cycle. Each and every task that is followed by this rule only. If we are giving an input means a CPU process something and give the output to us. This is considered as IPO cycle. It needs certain input and process that input and process the desired output. This is the important 2 mark. That is a book pack 2 mark. If it is asked means you will write from here to here. That means start from here and end to here. So if they are asked what is IPO cycle means you must write this answer from here to here. Every task that is given to the computer follow an IPO cycle. It needs certain input. If we are giving an input, then process is done inside the CPU. That input and produces the desired output via a monitor or printer or anything, any output devices, isn't it? Suppose if a question is asked means you will write this answer. Listen carefully guys. Each and every line in a book you would memorize. So this is the book pack. That means book in question. What is the question this? What is IPO cycle? What is IPO cycle? This is the book in question. You not only memorize the that means you not only prepare for on the book in questions. You will prepare for book in as well as book pack questions. Up to 10th standard you just memorize the questions that is given a back of the book. But from 11th onwards you will prepare everything. That means everything in loop and corner of the book. Okay. So input is takes from the input. Then process is done inside the CPU and output is given. In this process, all other process, suppose if we are typing something without saving a document, okay, if we are opening a paint and draw something, okay, so without saving we are doing the work, what will happen? We didn't save anything, so where it is placed? If you have any idea about this, if we are opening any document, Word or Excel or PowerPoint, or we are now opening a paint, we are in a lab, we are opening a paint software, we are draw something without saving the document. After we are completing our work only, we are saving the document, isn't it? So before that, where the document will? Where it present? So it's present in the memory. That means a temporary memory. Up to we are going to saving our document, it is present in the temporary memory. After we saved our file, it's move on to the permanent memory. It's move on to the which memory? Permanent memory. Is it clear? So till now you didn't have any idea about this. So suppose if we are not saving the document, means it's save in a temporary memory. Once we are saved our documents, it's move on to the permanent memory. The document that is present in the temporary memory is deleted. Okay. Here I show you the diagrammatical representation of the components of the computer. This is the diagrammatical representation. You must draw this diagram for this 5 mark. Okay, you must draw this diagram for this 5 mark. So listen carefully. The input is given with the help of input unit, isn't it? So it's move on to the memory. That means a main memory. First of all, the main memory receives the value. Again, it is move on to the secondary memory. Listen carefully, guys. So input that is given by us with the help of keyboard or mouse or anything, it's move like here to here. Then it move on to the main memory. Then afterwards, the content that is present in the main memory is moved to secondary memory. Then some process is done, isn't it? So some process is done. Then again it's move on to the main memory. Then afterwards it's move on to the internal memory. And if there is arithmetic operation done, means it's what will happen? It will execute something. Listen carefully. It will execute something. ALU means arithmetic logical unit. What is this? Arithmetic and logical. Again it is given by internal memory. Then it is given to main memory. Then the main memory take the value and it's give to the output value. That then give to the output unit. This is the main diagrammatical path that is executed. In this operation, the control unit is not connected. The control unit is not connected. Don't make a mistake. You are all draw like this, isn't it? All students do this mistake. So don't draw the diagram. That means a link to this diagram. Why? Because there is no connectivity between the data path between the control unit and this primary sectors. It's just a value, that is input is given to the main memory. Again the input is move on to the secondary memory. Then the value is move on to the main memory. Then internal memory hold that value. Then it's move on to the arithmetic and logical unit. Then the all process is done here. Arithmetic process is done here. Then it again move on to the internal memory. Then again it move on to the main memory. Here the operation will stops. Then this main memory produces the output. Then this main memory produces the output. This main memory only do all those things that is given. Once it receives the input and the process is done. After all the process is done, main memory only receives all those things and produces the output. All those things and produces the output. Is it clear? Yeah, this is known as output device. This is known as what? Output device. I think it's understand by you, isn't it? Yeah. In next slide, I will tell you what are the process that may be done individually with this input unit, output unit, etc. Okay. Now we are step ahead in this question. Our first topic is input unit. What is this? First topic is input unit. What are the things that is done with the help of input unit? We are feeding the information, any form of information to the computer, means that is stored in the memory unit for further processing, isn't it? With the help of this input unit only, we are giving the value. An example for input unit is keyboard, mouse, etc. Keyboard, mouse, etc. So one book pack question is there. That is what means question number 2.7. Differentiate between input and output unit. What is the question? Differentiate between input and output unit. If suppose I asked the question means, you will put a tabular column. You will put a tabular column like this, isn't it? Listen carefully. You put a tabular column like this. So you segregated that as two columns. One you put a input unit, another one is output unit. You write the definition from here to here, a first point of the input unit. Then I example is keyboard and mouse. The same thing is done for a output unit. But in this slide, I am not explaining about output unit. I think in upcoming slide, I will tell you the definition of output unit. So listen video carefully and write the question. If I ask the differentiate between input and output unit means you will write like this only. This is the question number 2.7. Question number what? 2.7. That is distinguish between input and output unit. Distinguish between input and output unit. This is the 5 mark, guys. Then next one is processing unit. Next one is what? Processing unit. That means central processing unit. What is the central processing unit? This is the, we know very well, CPU is the brain of the computer. It executes all those things. That means whatever things that is executed inside the CPU, it may be of 2 to 3 kinds. Whatever input we are given is accepted as a binary value. According to the instruction that is given by the users, that will process something inside the computer, then it will produce the output with the help of output unit. If you are giving the input with the help of input unit, with some things that may be happen inside the CPU, after that the output processes something and produces the result as the output unit, So in this central processing unit, we have 3 components. The CPU has how many components? 3 components. These 3 components are, listen carefully. First one is control unit. First one is what? Control unit. It will control all those things in the computer. A second one is ALU. What is this? ALU. ALU means arithmetic and logical unit. What is this? Arithmetic and logical unit. Third one is memory unit. Third one is what? Memory unit. In this memory unit only, we have primary as well as secondary memory. Primary as well as what? Secondary memory. Is it clear? In the CPU, we have 3 major parts. One is control unit. Second one is arithmetic and logical unit. Third one is memory unit. Third one is what? Memory unit. Is it clear? First one CPU is component is arithmetic and logical unit. What is this? Arithmetic and logical unit. What are things that may be done inside the ALU means, if suppose we make some of the mathematical calculations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, isn't it? So this all other basic operations that may be done inside the computer with the help of this ALU only. Okay, this are all the mathematical terms we know very well. What is meant by logical operations? Logical operations means less than, greater than or equal to, and or not. These are all the things you are going to study in chapter 2 part 2, isn't it? Logical gate, that is the important concept. You are all studied in our second part. So these are all the operation that may be except this basic 4 operation. All other operations are known as logical operations. Greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, etc. So all performance, that means arithmetic basic performance, are done with the help of arithmetic and logical units. What is this? Arithmetic and logical unit. Is it clear? It's a part of the CPU. A second part of the CPU is the result of the operations that maybe comes with the help of ability. That means a logical reasoning or decision making, etc. A second part of the CPU is control unit. What is this? Control unit. How our mother and father controls as in our home. Likewise, this control unit will control the entire flow of the CPU. Not only a CPU, it also control a input and output devices, also a memory unit. This means input and output. I bar O. This is the shortest form of input and output unit. Input and output unit. It not only controls the flow, also it will control the entire operations of the CPU. Also the memory and the all things that may be done inside the computer is controlled with the help of control unit. How our mother control ourselves in the home, likewise control unit do the same work in the computer. The third unit is output unit. Third unit is what? Output unit. This output unit is one of the hardware unit. That means we are attaching something, isn't it? A mouse or mouse. How we are said mouse and keyboard is an example for input unit. Likewise, monitor and printer. That means this output unit conveys information to the users. That means now you are watching something with the help of display phone, isn't it? Your phone screen. So that screen is considered as output unit, but in your mobile it's considered as input as well as output unit. How? We are giving the input your things with the help of that screen only. We are getting the output in the same screen, isn't it? So monitor and printer is an example for output unit. Monitor and printer is an example for output unit. Is it clear? Then the next topic is important topic in this topic, memory unit. What is this? Memory unit. In this memory unit, in the computer, we have two memory units. That is, one is primary memory, second one is secondary memory. First one is primary memory, second one is secondary memory. This is the one of the 2 mark. That means an important 3 mark, I think. 3 mark or 2 mark, I don't know. 2.8, I think. 2 mark. This is the important 2 mark in our book. So listen carefully. So this is the tabular column. So primary memory. This is what? A primary memory. This is the secondary memory. What is meant by primary memory? It's a temporary memory. Without saving, if we are not saving the document, means it's just a hold something, isn't it? So that is known as primary memory. It's a temporary memory. So data are just before saving, we are using and saving the data. After we are saved our data, it's move on to the secondary memory. For example, if we are typing something in a computer, unfortunately power is switched off. What will happen? All those things that is typed by us is deleted, isn't it? If we didn't save the document, means deleted, isn't it? If we are saved the document, means it's a very safe manner in a secondary memory. I am talking about if the document that is not saved. So that is known as primary memory. It's volatile in nature. What is this? Volatile in nature. So example for this primary memory is RAM. That is random access memory. What is this? Expansion of RAM is random access memory. So here in the secondary memory, the data are used, are stored permanently. This is non-volatile in nature. What is this? Non-volatile in nature. Even the power is switched off, it won't be deleted anything. That means if the power supply is switched off, means the content is available. Once we are saved, isn't it? So that is a hard drive, hard disk, CD-ROM, compact disk, read-only memory, DVD-ROM. ROM means read-only memory. What is this? Read-only memory. Is it clear? So this is the important 5 mark. You started from components of the computer. That means a computer is a combination of hardware and software. Up to this, you will write this question number 4.1. Is it clear? Yeah. A small recap of the today's session. So first one is components of a computer. Today we are discussed the topic named as components of the computer. This is the important 5 mark question. In this computer, components of the computer are next to components of computer, we are discussed about IPO cycle. That means input output processing cycle. In this topic, components of computer topic, we are going to discuss about a input unit, a central processing unit. That means a control unit, arithmetic and a logical unit, and a memory unit. This memory unit is 2 types. That is a primary memory and a secondary memory. In between these things, we are discussed about one more topic that is known as output unit, isn't it? What is this? Output units. So these are all the topics we are discussed in today's session. I hope you are all understand this session. Today I am going to upload one of the PDF in the session. It refers chapter 1 questions fully. So I will thorough the questions and submit it. Without fail, you are submitting it in the assignment session of the Google Classroom in a PDF format. Thank you guys. Have a nice day. Be safe.